Hey everyone, myself Karthik R N. I am from GM University, Davanagere. Now I am introduce our team members. We are from Computer Science and Engineering Department. My team members are JITHENDRA PATEL, Karthik R N, MADHU HR, PRAJWAL K N. Our team is handle the topic infinite loop in each child process in various operating systems. We took two operating systems. First one is Windows operating system. Second one is Linux operating system. Now my teammate Jitendra is going to handle in Windows operating systems how it works. Now I am hand over the session to Jitendra Patel. Jitendra, over to you.
P parameter, which is a parameter, while one is refers to an infinite loop in which the child process performs a infinite work. As come to the int main function, it also contains a infinite while loop. Here startup info SA refers to the structure of Windows API, which contains some structures such as you all know, the structures are which contains arrays, linked list, and all those things. And the SA refers to the um, word which means that SA refers to such a we can call that as a variable for startup info. The process information PI, which means that the process information in common operation which is used in an Windows API, which means that for calling a process and PI is a variable zero memory and ampersand SI and size of SI, which means that before initializing that Windows process, the memory should be zero so that no crashes will not occur in that process. And SI dot CB is equals to size of SI, which means that in the process will start to execute, which will be stored in that, which will be later printed in close handle. Zero memory, ampersand PI, size of PI, which means that the process information will be initiated and stored in the size of PI. And we can come to the if block, which is created to run the process, which means that the process it is used to create to run the process. Mm, create process create process which is we can consider it as a platform for the execution of that process. Null's child process which is a extension which runs that process. And null false, these are all the default class attributes. We can consider these as all the default class attributes. Ampersand s and ampersand pi, as I told before, and those are also the variables which for startup info and process information. Printf, a create process failed with an error. This is a string which prints as it is. And ld slash backslash n, which means that in the process which is executed will be printed in the ld and backslash n. Get slash, which means the which prints an error. This will show in the termination of the statement. The close handle of a pa.h process and the close handle dot pa.h thread, which means that the as before I told that the process will be finished in a h process. That will be part of the process will be printed in the H process, and the thread part will be the startup info will be printed in the thread process, which thread we all know that which is a part of a code. Return type zero as it is the void function. Thank you. Next will be explained by Prajwal K N.
Both friends are explained the how the Windows version is worked. Now I am going to explain the how the Linux version is worked. In the first case, we have the functional libraries here. These four libraries, uh, these four libraries is the initial function for this program Linux. Here slash include stdio.h is a standard input output function. And the second line slash include uni std.h means it is the process provides fork system to create the new process. Means existing the new process, it will be helpful. And the next one, third line, system slash type slash dot h is there. Here this one is helps to data types used in defining the data types of process management. And the last one, slash include lib.h. Here this function is means provides the functions which is like to exit from the function, this one. And the sixth one is wide infinite work. Here infinite work means while loop we are creating. Infinite work means we are creating the while loop for we going to infinitely in depth. This process is going to execute the continuously indefinite function. And here the int main is the main function, because any function of this indefinitely continues the which overlap over the some process. And here we are declaring int main as a main function. And while one is in an infinite loop, which is the going to take the infinite loops in very longer way. And the next one is PID dash slash T PID is equal to fork. Means PID means it is a process identification. Used in loop, we have the process identify used for the process identification, which is going to initiate the PID for fork performance. And the next 15 to 24 line will explain by my colleague Madhu. Thank you.
Hello, I am Modi HR. I am studying in second year engineering. I am going to explain about the code in 15th line. If for returns a negative value, FID less than 0, it indicates an error. The program prints an error message using error and exit with exit 1. Next line. Yes, if for return 0, it means the current process is a child. The, the child process calls infinite work, enters an infinite loop, and never terminates. The parent's process continues the loop, creating additional child processes. Each iteration of the loop creates a new child process, leading to a rapid indecent process count. This is explained by the code. Thank you.
Now we have to wind up this session. Thank you, teammates, and thank you, Monada.